What is going on, Alabama football fans? Coming up on today's show, we're going to be breaking down the Week 13 college football playoff rankings. We're also going to take a look at what that bracket looks like as well. There's also some transfer portal news and some recruiting news that we also want to talk about on today's show. But before we get into that, make sure you like today's video for me. If you guys want Alabama to make it into the college football playoffs, which should be every single person that watches this video today, make sure you like today's video for me right now. All right, first thing, we're going to talk about the college football playoff rankings here in Week 13. The updated rankings came out last night on Tuesday evening, and Alabama moved up to that number 7 spot here in Week 13. And look, they beat the crap out of Mercer. I did not expect them to move up a few spots. I figured because it was kind of a lesser opponent that they would probably stay where they were at. But look, I'm all in favor of us moving up a couple of spots. I do think if Alabama makes the SEC championship game and wins, there's a very decent shot that you might have be able to move up to that number 2 spot and possibly, well, you will have a first round bye in that case. This is the first year of the 12-team college football playoffs, and we've shown you this graphic before, but I do think it is important to bring it up again and just kind of explain it for anybody out there that doesn't necessarily know still kind of what's going on for this season. So This is the first year of the 12-team college football playoffs. The 4 highest-ranked conference champions will earn the top 4 seeds and that first-round bye, which we'll talk about here in a second why that part right there kind of annoys me a little bit, specifically about Boise State there. We'll discuss that here in just a second. And then seeds 5 through 8 will play at home in the first round, and one group of 6 team is guaranteed a spot. Now, I do think it is important to note and to remember, it is seeds 5 through 8, not rankings 5 through 8. It is that seeding process. So just because you're ranked 5, 6, 7, 8 does not necessarily mean you will get a home game. And we'll talk about it here in just a second when we show you that playoff bracket here. But let's go through the top 25 this week. You got Illinois sitting there at number 25, UNLV at 24, Missouri somehow still in the top 25 there after another loss this past weekend. Iowa State sitting there at 22, Arizona State at 21, Tulane at 20, Army at 19, South Carolina. What a fun team they've been, man. I'm so glad that you got the win over them, because at the time everybody was like, oh, you played, kind of bad against South Carolina. Well, look, they're still out here winning games, so a very, very good win for Alabama right there over them. Clemson at number 17, Colorado sitting there still at 16, still has a shot to win their conference as well and make it into the college football playoffs. So they definitely still have their destiny in their hands there. Texas A&M sitting there at number 15 now. They still have a shot to make it into the SEC championship game as well. BYU at 14, SMU at 13, Boise State at 12. Tennessee sitting there now at number 11 after the loss this past weekend against Georgia. And then the Georgia Bulldogs right above them at that number 10 spot. Ole Miss at number 9. Miami at 8, Alabama now at 7, Notre Dame right there at number 6, right above them. Rolling out the top 5 here, you got Indiana at number 5, and I will continue to say they have a cupcake schedule. They're ranked like last in the country in strength of schedule. I continue to believe they're going to get the crap beat out of them by Ohio State coming up this weekend. We'll see what happens. I'll take the L in the comments if they go out there and play Ohio State tough, but I honestly think that's going to be a blowout in that game. Penn State sitting there at number 4, Texas at 3, Ohio State at 2, and Oregon sitting up at the top spot in the country right now. This is a look right now at what the current college football playoff bracket would look like. Alabama, if the college football playoff started today, they would go on the road to South Bend, Indiana, and play Notre Dame. And I do think that is very notable because, like we'll talk about in a second, I don't want to go on the road to play somebody in the college football playoffs. And I don't think, unless you win the conference championship game, there is any guarantee that you would be able to host a home playoff game. So I personally right now, we talked about it a lot last week, whether or not you want to go to the SEC championship game. And one of the things that annoys me so much about this 12-team college football playoffs is you have Boise State sitting there at the number 4 seed. And this is what I was talking about with the seedings not necessarily matching up with the rankings. They're the number 12 team overall in the rankings, but they are the number 4 seed because hypothetically right now they're sitting in that placeholder spot as one of the top 4 highest ranked conference champions. So I don't know how they're going to fix this, but it is a problem right now. And you heard Lane Kiffin probably on social media talking at his press conference about the fact that, look, Ole Miss doesn't even want to make the SEC championship game. And I do think that is a problem that they need to solve because you are just diminishing the value of conference championships no matter what the committee will go out there and tell you. So let me know right here in the comment section at the pinned comment, actually, of today's video. What do you think is most likely to happen for Alabama if they make it into the college football playoffs? Type H if you think it'll be a home game for Alabama. Type A if you think they would have to go on the road in the first round. Or do you think Alabama wins the SEC championship and they get that first round bye? Let me know at the pinned comment right now. Look, these are my thoughts on this right now. I kind of went back and forth last week, not making the conference championship versus making it. Look, I am at the spot now where I absolutely want to make the conference championship game, and I want to win the conference because I want to get that first round bye. And everybody keeps talking about, oh, it's an extra game. It's an extra game, possibility of injuries. Everybody, thinks that if you don't play during the weekend of the conference championship game, you're going to get more time to, rest up for the college football playoffs, which really just simply isn't the case there. If Alabama wins the SEC championship, they actually get about 3 extra days rest until that first round bye and that quarterfinal matchup comes to fruition. So I want to win the SEC championship game. I think it is very meaningful to win an SEC championship game, but I do understand the fear out there from some people saying, look, if you go to the SEC championship game, there's a possibility that you could lose that game, and that's 3 losses. If Alabama were to get into the college football playoffs with a loss in the SEC championship game, they would be the first 3-loss team to make it, and I do think that is very notable, but I have no faith in the committee whatsoever to make the right decisions. I don't think they have any inkling or idea how important strength of schedule really should be. That's just my opinion on that. This is what Ward Manuel said about the importance of conference championships and what would happen to a potential loser of the SEC championship. He said, we have a lot of value. We're not going to speculate on what will happen, but we have a lot of value with the teams that make a championship game. That says a lot. Playing 12 games in a season, making your championship game is a really valuable data point. That's number 1. Number 2, we're going to evaluate the games and how teams play and the performances on the field. That's what the commissioners asked us to do. They didn't ask us to stop right before the championship game. They asked us to rank the teams through the conference championship games. And like I said just a second ago, that's all well and good. He can say whatever he wants, but I have no faith in this college football playoff committee. And it's not particular to this committee. Since we have expanded the playoffs, from the BCS to the 14 college football playoffs, the committee, year to year to year, the actual people on the committee changes. And that, people are people, right? There's a lot of variability there. Everybody has their biases, and I just think there's been a lot of years now where they've made the wrong decision or, just pissed a lot of people off in the process. So let me know right here, guys, in the comments section, will Alabama make the college football playoffs if they lose the SEC championship game? Right now, for me, look, the committee can say all they want about the importance of conference champions, but Alabama is the only team in that spot where they could be a potential 3-loss team that played in their conference championship game. So I think it is a little bit different talking about Alabama than it is some of those other potential teams out there that could have 1 or maybe even a second loss, but still make their conference championship. So let me know in the comments section right now, if Alabama loses the SEC championship game, will they make the college football playoffs? Type Y for yes or N for no in the comments right now. And we're going to talk about some transfer portal and some recruiting news here in just a moment, but today's show is presented by Ollie. Ollie is clean, fresh nutrition for your dog in 5 flavors that they will absolutely love. Right now, Ollie is offering a fantastic deal to let your pup taste test a personalized meal plan. Get 60% off your first box of meals when you use promo code CHATSPORTS at ollie.com. You don't have to be a vet to know that feeding your dog whole foods with minimal processing is one of the best choices that you can make for their health. It is a perfectly portioned whole fresh foods diet that has been proven to extend your pup's life by 2.5 years. Who doesn't want more time with their best friend? Am I right? They have no harmful fillers and no preservatives. Ollie is made in United States kitchens with ingredients carefully sourced from trusted growers and producers around the world. This is how it works. You fill out Ollie's 30-second quiz, and they'll create a customized meal plan for you. Ollie then crunches the numbers and recommends the right recipes and daily portions for your pup. For any first-timers, Ollie will send out your pup's first box with 2 weeks' worth of meals and a guide to how to gradually switch them over to their new diet. You can even customize your plan. Ollie offers 3 different meal plans that you can choose from. So you can choose between a full fresh plan, a fresh topper plan, or a mixed plan with their freshly baked recipes. This right here is my dog, Luca. We both went to the University of Alabama. You see him right there in front of Bryant-Denny Stadium, where legends are made. And look, if you're giving your dog Ollie dog food, you are also a legend. First thing that happens when I walk through the door, he doesn't want to go outside to go to the bathroom. First thing he wants is his Ollie dog food, and he cannot get enough of it. So head over to ollie.com and tell them about your dog. Use promo code CHATSPORTS, and you'll get 60% off your first box of meals when you subscribe today. That's OLLIE.com and enter promo code CHATSPORTS to get 60% off your first box of meals. They offer a clean bowl guarantee on their first box, so if you're not completely satisfied, you can get your money back. That link will be in the comments section and the description of today's show. All right, next up on today's show, we're going to talk about the transfer portal here. Yesterday, it came out that Keanu Koht has filed his paperwork to enter the NCAA transfer portal, and look, there's a Twitter account out there that is pushing some just absolutely wild accusations about Keanu Koht, messaging Kayla DeBoer's daughter some inappropriate messages. That is not true whatsoever. That is just grade A engagement farming. He's doing a pretty damn good job of it because a lot of people have shared it and a lot of people have commented on it, but it is absolutely not true. Look, the reason Keanu Koht is entering the transfer portal is because his playing time has decreased week after week after week, and he just can't get on the field anymore for Alabama. He didn't travel to Baton Rouge for that game versus LSU. Kayla DeBoer was asked about it last Monday at his press conference. Said, yeah, look, Keanu Koht is suspended right now. There's no timetable for how long he'll be suspended. And he didn't give us a reason about why he was suspended, but I could only assume it's because he didn't like, how much playing time he was getting, and the fact that guys like Yanze Pierre and Quay Russaw were getting more playing time over him. He's only played 106 snaps so far this season. Quay Russaw's got more, and Yanze Pierre was right on his heels. I think Pierre was at like 78 or something like that snaps on the season. But it really sucks because he's got 2 more years of eligibility left. Coming into the season, I thought he was going to be one of those breakout candidates for Alabama at that Wolf spot. And look, with Quandarius Robinson going down for the rest of the season, that is just another depth piece that you're going to be without. So, if something happens to Quay Russaw or Yanze Pierre, who's going to be that next guy up at that Wolf position? I would assume maybe Ja'Shawn Ross, maybe Noah Carter. Maybe they switch some things around, get Jeremiah Alexander, Justin Jefferson in there at those middle linebacker spots. Maybe move Jahad Campbell over there as one of those Wolf options. I'm not really sure, but look, it really sucks because I thought Keanu Koht, I think he was just outside that 5-star ranking when he came to Alabama. So he's a very good talent, but man, he just could not get on the field for the Crimson Tide this season. So let me know here in the comments section which guys think will Alabama have more players enter the transfer portal. I would assume there will be a couple of more. Hopefully, it's not going to be any mass exodus or anything like that. I don't think it would be any kind of mass exodus. But let me know right here in the comments section. Type 1 for yes or type 0 for no. It is officially flip season here now. Obviously, Alabama had a couple flips and decommitments last week, but we got one back Four-star safety Ivan Taylor has flipped now from Michigan to Alabama in their 2025 recruiting class. And, if you remember back, we talked about it a little bit before. He was originally committed to Notre Dame, took visits both to Alabama and to Michigan back in the summertime, ended up flipping his commitment from Notre Dame to Michigan. And, but look, Alabama did not give up on him. He's a guy that they really like, top 100 player, one of the best safeties in this 2025 class. And I do think, this defense that Kane Womack has, where they, use their vision a lot, and, matching and everything like that. If you watch his tape, he baits a lot of quarterbacks into making bad throws and bad decisions, and he gets interceptions off of them. Now, I know going from high school to college is a different story, but he's not going to play, at least probably the first season, I would assume, with Alabama. So there's a lot of time for him to grow and develop and, just be, better as a whole as a player. This is what Alabama's defensive back field looks like in their 2025 class right now. You got Dijon Lee, number 19 overall player, number 4 cornerback, very easily could be the number 1 cornerback in this class. He is a very, very good player. Ivan Taylor, of course, we just talked about him right there, another top 100 guy. And then Chuck McDonald. I love Chuck McDonald. He's one of my favorite players in this class just from watching his film. Man, he's a really, really good player. So, look, for a defensive backfield that, last offseason got hit really hard by the transfer portal, Alabama is slowly starting to add some pieces here. And who knows, they might even add some more pieces in the transfer portal because the transfer portal taketh and it also giveth as well. It works both ways there. This is the 247 Sports updated 2025 recruiting rankings. Just a couple days ago, Alabama was down there at the number 4 and 5 spot, depending on what site you were looking at. Now, after this commitment from Ivan Taylor, they have now moved up to the number 3 spot. So, there's still another guy out there that I would really love to have in this class, and Justice Terry. He's another 5-star defensive lineman that if you add him, Alabama could very easily possibly get back up to that number 2 or even that number 1 spot in the 2025 recruiting rankings. Make sure you guys are subscribed right here to the Alabama Football Report. We're trying to get to 21.5 thousand subscribers. We're only 88 away. We'll be live this weekend for this Oklahoma game. We'll also be live for the Iron Bowl and the SEC Championship playoffs if we're lucky enough to get there as well. Going to be giving away a Jalen Milroe jersey during our watch party for the Iron Bowl, so do not miss out on that. Help me out. Hit that sub button right now.